Hi everyone. Today we are going to see the computation of length of water surface profile. This is me, Dilruba KM. So what is length of water surface profile? It is a length up to which the surface profile of a gradually varied flow extends. Let us say we construct a weir across a river with say steep slope, and we have to estimate the distance on upstream up to which the effect of the S1 curve or steep slope zone 1 curve exists. So see in this picture we are constructed where the river was flowing with a steep slope, and due to this construction of the weir the water surface profile develop, and we have to determine or find out the length of this water surface profile from the normal depth to the highest depth of water surface profile. So for that we have to integrate the gradually varied flow equation. So integrating the gradually varied flow equation will give you the length of water surface profile. And there are mainly three methods for integration of gradually varied flow equation. They are single step method. It is also known as direct step method, single step method or direct step method, and second one is graphical integration method, and third one is direct integration method. Out of these three methods we are focusing on first one, that is single step method or direct step method. So let us see the procedure for doing so. So direct step method is the method which divide the entire length of the water surface profile into small reaches, and these small reaches, let us say dx be the length of one single reach or single section, and it is sufficiently small so that the surface profile will be approximately equal to a straight line. We know surface profile is not a straight line, it is somewhat similar to a curve, but we assume that when we divide the entire water surface profile into small sections, and these sections, since they are too small, they act like a straight line. So computation of total length of the water surface profile can be done by adding all the length of each sections. So that is the basic idea of direct step method. So let us consider a cross section of a river or a channel with bottom slope IB and total energy line slope IE. Now I'm considering a small section. This is a small section with of length dx, which I divide the total water surface profile into small sections of length dx. Okay, so I'm taking one single section between section 1 and 2, and the total energies at section 1 and section 2 are equal. And so from that we can write v1 square by 2g plus y1 plus dx into ib, where ib is the slope of the channel bottom. See, if ib is the slope, this angle is ib, sine theta will be this height divided by hypotenuse. Or hypotenuse is almost equal to dx. We can write this height as ib into dx. Since ib is also small, so sine theta or ib is into dx will give you the height. Similarly, here this height is dx into ie. Okay, so according to Bernoulli's equation, total energies are same. So we are equating the energies of section 1 and section 2. v1 square by 2g plus y1 plus dx ib is equal to v2 square by 2g plus y2 plus dx ie. Okay, now we can write, we know v1 square by 2g plus y1 is the specific energy at section 1. So I am substituting it with E1, and v2 square by 2g plus y2 is a specific energy at section 2. So I am writing it as E2. Then the equation become, I am taking all those components of dx into left hand side and specific energies into right hand side. So I can write dxib minus dxie is equal to E2 minus E1, or dx into ib minus I is equal to E2 minus E1. So dx can be written as E2 minus E1 divided by ib minus IE. Or I can write dx is equal to change in specific energy divided by ib minus IE. Okay. So this is the equation for finding out the length of a single section which is a part of water surface profile. Now we will get dx of each section. We will add all those dx and we will get the total length of the water surface profile. Okay, so there are 6 steps for doing analyzing a water surface profile length using direct step method. The first step is to compute area, wetted perimeter and hydraulic radius. We know area, and if area and wetted perimeter are known, hydraulic radius can be calculated by A by P. And you will be given a depth. So according to that value of the depth, you have to calculate the hydraulic radius R is equal to A by P. Next, calculate the mean velocity. Mean velocity can be calculated. V is equal to discharge divided by area. Discharge will be given. Okay. And we can, if knowing V, we can calculate the velocity head, that is V square by 2G. Then we can calculate specific energy with equation E is equal to Y plus V square by 2G. So we have calculated mean velocity, velocity head and specific energy. Now energy line slope. Energy line slope can be calculated by using 2 equations according to the data given. If Manning's constant is given, use the equation n square V square divided by R raised to 4 by 3. So this is the equation for finding out energy line slope when Manning's constant is given. If Jesse's constant is given, you have to use the equation I is equal to V square by R into C square. Okay. So these are the equations for finding out calculating energy line slope. Now the third step is to assume a new depth of flow near to the previous one which was given and calculate all parameters according to the new depth. All the parameters which were calculated in step 1 and step 2, that is area, perimeter, radius, V square by 2G, and specific energy and energy line slope. So these all 7 parameters should be calculated for the next depth that we are assuming. Okay. Actually, we are not assuming a depth. What we will do is we will find out the normal depth, and a depth will be given up to which the gradually varied flow exists. Then we will divide the entire length according to the depth at the minimum of 4 sections. That is, we will find out the length of entire length is divided into 4 or 5 sections, or at least we should divide into 4 sections. We can either divide the entire length into 5, 6, 7 or n number of sections. The more smaller the section is, higher will be the precision of your answers. So we will divide the total sections with knowing the normal depth and the depth given by, say, I am dividing the total depth into 7 sections. Then I can write yn minus y divided by 7 will give you some answer, say x. So this is the value that you should add with your y to find out the next depth. Okay. Here I have written assume a new depth. Instead of assuming, we should do like this. First you should find out the value x and add that x to the given depth. Then you will get the new depth. For that new depth, that is y plus x, you have to calculate all the parameters. Okay. So that is the third step. Now fourth step, that is to obtain the value of change in specific energy. That is, we have calculated specific energy for all the sections, for all the depth. Now find out the change in specific energy between each depth. and we can calculate the average value of energy line slope just by adding nearby energy line slope of nearby depth and finding out the average. Say IE1 is the first depth with energy line slope IE1, and second depth have energy line slope IE2. Then the average energy line slope is IE1 plus IE2 divided by 2. Okay. Then after finding out this one, we have to calculate. So IE dash is obtained. We have to calculate IB minus IE dash. So IB minus IB will be given to you. IE dash is computed. So from this, we can directly calculate the length of each section. Now, knowing the length of each section, we can add all the lengths to obtain the total length of water surface profile, and repeat the process by assuming different values of depth of flow at adjacent section until the required section is reached. Okay, so these are the 6 steps to analyze water surface profile length by using direct step method. So for a clear understanding, let us see an example. A rectangular channel section having a bottom width 10 meter carries a discharge 30 cubic. Cubic means meter cube per second. Meter cube per second is also known as cubic. That is a unit for discharge. And Manning's roughness coefficient 0.015 and bottom slope 0.0001. If at a section in this channel the depth is 1.6 meter, how far upstream or downstream is the section will the depth be 2 meter? Use the direct step method. So here in this question, we can see bottom width is given as 10 meter, discharge is given as 30 meter, Manning's coefficient 0.15 and bottom slope 0.0001. And the section's depth 1.6 meter is given. We have to find out the length of the section which is of 2 meter wide, or a distance of the section with a depth 2 meter from the depth 1.6 meter. So we in this question they are asked us to find out the length of the section between when depth is 1.6 meter and when depth is 2 meter. So for this question, we can use direct step method to compute the length between these two sections. Okay, so here two depths are given. Y is given as 1.6 meter and another y, say y1, y2 is given as 2 meter. So as I mentioned before, we have to divide the entire section into small sections of length dx, and finally we will add up all the length between these sections in order to obtain the total length. Okay, so before that we have to find out what type of slope is this. For that we have to calculate the normal depth and critical depth, and we have surface profiles like, if normal depth is greater than critical depth, then we can say the slope is mild. If the critical depth is greater than normal depth, we can say it is a steep slope. So let us see what type of slope the bottom is. So we have equation Q is equal to 1 by N, A R raised to 2 by 3, S raised to 1 by 2. So I'm just applying the values of Q. Here Q is given as 30 meter cube per second. So 30 into is equal to 1 by N is Manning's coefficient, which is given as 0.015. A is area. Since it is given it's a rectangular section, area will be B into Y. So B into Y, and R is area by perimeter. Area is B into Y and perimeter is B b plus 2y. So we can say by divided by b plus 2y. 2y whole raised to 2 by 3 s raised to 1 by 2. S raised to 1 by 2. So we can write 1 by n. By into by raised to 2 by 3 is by whole raised to 1 plus 2 by 3 is 5 by 3 divided by b plus 2y into whole raised to 2 by 3 and s raised to 1 by 2. So when you give y as normal depth yn, s will be taken as bottom slope. Okay. So 1 by n, b is width of the section. It is given as 10 meter. Yn whole raised to 5 by 3 divided by b 10 plus 2 times yn whole raised to 2 by 3 into ib raised to 1 by 2. Here ib is given as 0.0001. So just applying all the values, when you find out the value of yn using trial and error method, you will get the value of yn as 2.97 meters. So yn obtained is 2.97 meters. Now let us see what is critical depth. Critical depth YC can be obtained by equation Q square by G whole raised to 1 by 3, where Q is discharge per unit width. Here discharge is 30 and width is 10 meter. So we can say small q is 3. So 3 square divided by 9.81 whole raised to 1 by 3. And the answer obtained is 0.972 meters. So here we got yn as 2.97 meters and yc as 0.972 meters. So from this we can say yn is greater than yc, therefore our slope is mild. So mild slope. See, for mild slope we have yn greater than yc. So the slope obtained is mild slope. Okay. So here we can say the slope of the bottom channel is mild. Now what we have to find out is at which zone it is. Here our depth is given as 1.6 and 2 meters. Since both are in between yn and yc, we can say it is in zone 2. So zone 2 condition is y will be in between yn greater than y greater than yc is the condition for zone 2. So we can write the given depth is at zone 2. Okay. Now what we have to find out is, next we have to find out area, perimeter, hydraulic radius, specific energy and difference between specific energy. Then IE. IE is slope of the energy line using Manning's equation n square v square divided by r raised to 4 by 3. And finally we have to calculate IB minus IE dash, and from that we can identify the length by using equation dx is equal to delta E divided by IB minus IE dash. Okay, so for that we use a table. Say for that we have to find out the different y's. For finding out different y's, we have to find out the difference. How can we obtain the next y. We are asked to find out the length between two sections of depth 1.6 meter and 2 meters. So I'm taking four sections. So I can write 2 minus 1.6 divided by 4, which is 0.1. Okay, so I'm taking 4 sections, dividing the entire length into 4 sections. Okay, so I'm dividing entire length into 4 sections. First depth will be 1.6, last depth will be 2, and all others will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and for here I've drawn 5 sections. Okay, so I'm dividing the total length into 4 sections. In order to find out the depth of each section, what I will do is I will find out the difference between both. 2 minus 1.6 divided by number of sections 4. So 2 minus 1.6 is 0.4. So 0.4 divided by 4 will give you 0.1 meters. So I have to add 0.1 meter with each depth. Say, here I am taking the first depth is 1.6, next depth is 1.7, next 1.8, 1.9 and 2. So here it is divided into 1, 2, 3 and 4 sections. Now for each depth I have to calculate area, perimeter, hydraulic radius, velocity, velocity head, specific energy, difference between specific energies, energy slope line, total energy slope line, and IE dash, IB minus IE and dx. So let us see. Here we have, if 1.6 is the depth, we already know the width of the channel is B is given as 10 meter. So area is B into Y. So 10 into 1.6 is 16. And perimeter, since it is a rectangle triangle, B plus 2Y is the perimeter. So B plus 2Y. B plus 2Y is the equation of perimeter. So 10 plus 2 times 1.6 will give you 13.2. Now radius, hydraulic radius is A by P. But just dividing 16 divided by 13.2 will give you the answer 1.21. So that is the hydraulic radius. And for calculating velocity, we can obtain velocity by dividing discharge with the area. So discharge here, Q is given as 30 meter cube per second. So 30 divided by 16 will give you the answer 1.88. Then we will find out V square by 2G. V square by 2G is, we have got value of V 1.88, then 1.88 square divided by 2 times 9.81, which is 0.179. Now we can add this Y with the V square by 2G to obtain the value of specific energy. Similarly, we will find out area, perimeter, the hydraulic radius of each depth. Say here it's 1.7. So area is 1.7 into 10 and perimeter is 10 plus 2 times 1.7. Then area divided by perimeter will give you the hydraulic radius. Then velocity Q by A, V square by 2G, and E is equal to Y plus V square by 2G. Okay. Similar way we will calculate for each depth. Now we will find out the difference between these two. Difference between these two energies. Here 1.779 and 1.859. The answer is 0.08. And difference between these two will give you the specific energy. Delta specific energy 0.083 and 2.02 minus 1.942, 0.085, 2.115 minus 2.02, which is 0.088. Okay. Now we will calculate total energy line slope using the equation n square v square by r raised to 4 by 3. N square is the Manning's coefficient, 0.015 is here, which is given if Chassis constant is given. The equation is different. V square by C square R. Okay. And from this equation, just apply the values for each. Here velocity is 1.88 and radius is 1.21. Just apply the values here in this equation. You will get the answers of slope of energy line. So for each depth you will get energy line slope and find out the average of these two. So IE dash is the average of these two. That is here IE1 plus IE2 divided by 2. That is the average. So consecutive slopes will be added and find out the average. Okay, so the average of these two slopes is 0.00470, average of 0.00433 and 0.000366 is 0.0004, and similarly we will find out the average, or adding both and divided by 2 will give you the answer. Now we will find out the difference between bottom slope and the energy slope, average of energy slope. So here we have bottom slope as IB is given as 0.0001. So 0.001 minus IE bar will give you this one, and each values are obtained. And finally, from our equation, dx is equal to delta E divided by IB difference IE bar will give the values of all the length of the each section. Now finally we will add all the lengths between each sections to obtain the distance between the sections. So we are adding 1.73.16, 224.32, 283.33 and 366.67. Finally we get the length between two depths, 1.6 meter and 2 meters. So 1047.48 meter is the length of the water profile between the depth 1.6 meter and 2 meter. So that is how we calculate the length of, compute the length of a water profile when direct step method is applied. Okay. I hope it is clear. If you have any doubt, comment. I will try to answer all the queries.